Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to use ACL rounders. Okay, so when setting up a video or a tournament under bracket format, just select the rounders option. Now you can do this with singles, doubles, bring your own partner, or blind draw. What you need to keep in mind though is if you're using a blind draw, you have to have, well, if you're using singles or doubles, you have to have an even number of players or teams. Okay, so if I'm doing singles, I need to have some sort of number divisible by 2. Same with teams. If I've got 20 teams, that works. If I've got 21 teams, it won't work. Or what you can do is you can add a ghost tournament in there. Now, when you're doing a blind draw, you have to make sure that you've got a divisible by 4. And I know that sounds like a little crazy, like you don't want to be doing math. But the way that works out is if there's only 42 players, well, that's 21 teams. Okay, if it's a blind draw and there's 42 players, well, that's 21 teams. Now we need to somehow get that to 22 teams. You can add 2 ghost players, that's fine. Or you can try to find 2 players or see if 2 players will back out. But you do need a number divisible by 4 if you're going to use a blind draw for rounders. Okay. Once you're ready to go, I've preloaded. I've got 20 teams in here. Okay. If there was 21, okay, I could just come to 22 and add like some sort of ghost or bye team. That means if Gary and Josh got to play the bye team first, they would just get an automatic win. Certainly not the best way to do it, but at this point, that's what we'll work with. Okay, so I've got the 20 teams. Same thing. Oops, I've got a blank team in there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select round limit. Again, same as with swap. If you have an even number of teams, you can have an odd or an even number of rounds. But if you have an odd number of teams, you want to make sure that you have an even number of rounds. Okay. And then you can select your court numbers. With rounders, it's best if you can have enough courts for all the teams to play at once. That's great. Otherwise, everybody will play in those first games, and then as games end, the other 2 games the other games that are left will fill in. Okay, so I'm gonna use 8 courts for this. I'm gonna create rosters. I can send out the text link, and now I'm ready to go to manage bracket. Okay, as soon as I hit start, okay, it automatically generated the games. When I hit start auto assign, it's going to kick out those 8 court numbers. Okay, and you can see that 2 are left over. Once a couple games finish up, those games will continue to kick over. Now you'll notice that no new games have been populated yet. The reason for that is we're waiting for every game in round 1 to be finished so that the 1-0 teams can be randomly paired against each other, or the 0-1 teams can be randomly paired against each other. Okay, so I'll go through, and I'm gonna pause auto assign just so you can kind of see what happens when I'm done with all the games. Okay. Now you see that after that last game ended, 10 new games are available. It just regenerated games based on the records. Okay, and if I hit start auto assign again, it'll kick those games out and it'll keep filling them in. If I were to keep the auto assign on the whole time, it would just keep going until everybody's all finished with their 4 games or however many games you've chosen. Okay, when you're all finished, same thing as with swap, you can come up here to create a new bracket, and you can choose single or double elimination, however you want to set it up based on the results of the rounders. It'll rename it whatever. This is what I originally named it, and then it'll just tack on final bracket at the end. I can create the bracket. It says it was successful, and it should automatically open up that new bracket. Now what happens is it's going to put those teams in order by their record. okay, by their ranking. So Gary and Josh did the best during the rounders, so they're going to be the 1 seed. And I'll just follow through like I do with any other normal single or double elimination. I can send the link out to the bracket, and I've got the bracket from there.